Hey, I'm Stuart Mckeown. I'm from Tandragee and I'm hoping to intern with Ambassadors Football next year. I think my favourite thing about 316 football, amongst all the great things that there is about it, is the fact that it's just, I can't think of another place where there'd be such a willingness for Christians and non-Christians to come together where you can hear the word. Obviously, like, Christians have non-Christians friends and vice versa, but it's very rare that you can so easily get non-Christians to come and hang out in a place where you're going to be hearing the word. Like, we lived in Lisburn until I was 11, and the whole time we lived there we did go to church, but it was very much religious thing, just going honestly because our granny asked every week we went for dinner if we'd been to church, and Dad didn't want to lie to her. Then we moved to Tandragee, and quite frankly, like, there was no will to go. Like, we didn't have a background reason to go. Like, there was no underlying thing. It was just we stopped going. And I always found it very strange, and I always asked why we didn't go to church, and just they would like, can we go to church this Sunday? And they would tell me, well, we'll see. Like, it just never really came about. And then obviously being in Tandragee, which is, you know, kind of like Lurgan, but it doesn't have a Tesco's, is there's just nothing to do really but be one of the lads and just start drinking and smoking and stuff, which all, like, well, not all obviously, but a lot of like the Tandragee junior high guys did. And I just fell into that crowd and started doing the young Northern Irish guys thing, and just kind of fell into the wrong place. But the whole time, like, I always didn't feel like I was really one of them. So then I went to Portadown College, and I got a group of really good friends there, and obviously again not all of them were Christians, but there was Christians there, which I didn't have at all in Tandragee. They convinced me one weekend to go to Edenderry Sea, and it was really good, and I really enjoyed having, like, cracking, well, I couldn't say fellowship at the time because I wasn't a Christian, with other people, like. And I got to meet so many people from different backgrounds, whereas before I was always very centred in Tandragee or centred in Lisburn when I lived there, and I never really had an outside experience of that. So having that, it was just weird seeing how people acted differently. And even despite that, and I suppose similar to Mark, who spoke at this last night, said it was so many times I felt like I was getting called and I just ignored it. But one night I was just at CA, and Gilly, who runs CA, was talking, and he said a line over and over again in the sermon, which was God's in control. And it just, you know, it made me keep thinking, like, if God's in control and he's trying to get me, he's gonna get me eventually. And then the next night I went home, and there was a bit of an argument going on in the house, and my mother was a Christian at this point, and she had said God's in control, and it was the only thing I heard. And that night I just got down on my knees in my room and just asked God to come and save me, because I knew at that point that he was in control, and everything I was doing for my own gain was never going to be fulfilled without him there. Because someone entirely good has seen a horrible human death, it means I no longer have to die in the same manner, and I know that there's hope beyond death. And no matter what happens to me in any horrible incident, whether it is death or something different altogether, I know the fact that God has died for me, and he's there. He's still here. Like, Jesus is still alive. He still exists in whatever way that he does exist. He's there, and I know that at any time I need him, that there is trouble or I'm stressed, I can turn to him. And it is a thing, like, everyone has stress, and in the past year hasn't been an easy year for our family, but I can tell you that Jesus has worked in it, and as cliche as it sounds, he does work in mysterious ways, and I can promise you that. And my prayer, I suppose, for the end of it is that people do hear about Jesus through this, whether it is just a case of the people talking now through these videos, or just Christians going out of the way and to be different and act kind and loving to people who aren't Christians, and just people will be able to see that we're different. The only reason that we are different is because of the fact that Jesus died for us. Stuart Mckeown, 316 Fan Score.